Anyone can fall victim to a CRA related tax scam. In this video, we're going to talk about how they do tax scams, how you can avoid the tax scams, and if you've fallen victim, what to do next. It's the time of year where we file our tax returns, but it's also the time of year that fraudsters come alive, and especially around CRA related emails and text messages. And you may have already received a phishing with PH, phishing email or text in the last few weeks, and if not, you may receive one going forward. So what is a phishing email? Now, phishing email isn't going to the lake and going fishing. It's a PH phishing email where fraudsters will send information to grab your information. So they'll send a fraudulent text message and email saying, hey, you're entitled to a certain amount of money. Please click here, enter your information. Please give us your SIN number. They're looking to get information, either personal information that they can then use and potentially resell or use to get money in other ways, or they're looking for money from you directly. Last year in 2022, CRA said they had almost 1,400 phishing emails reported to them. The year previously was about half that number. So the amount of phishing emails, especially text messages now, are growing, and there's going to be more here in 2023 as tax season comes upon us. So make sure that you're aware of emails, text messages, any other type of communication that you get. You need to make sure that it's actually CRA and it's actually something you need to take action on. So here's a list of the biggest CRA scams that they've seen over the last few years. The first one is text messages. You'll get a text message saying that it's from the CRA, and to click on a link to get a tax refund, to get whatever it is. It'll have a link attached to it. Don't click on any links that you get from a CRA text message or anything like that. The second one is phone calls. And this is a phone call saying that they're either from the CRA or even the RCMP, and they're requesting money, and you have to pay through cryptocurrency. That's an absolute red flag. CRA will not request payment through cryptocurrency. So if you're getting a phone call that you don't expect, and they're asking for money through a weird form of payment, that should be an absolute red flag, and steer clear from that right off the bat. An email or a text message saying that you are entitled to a GST or an HST refund, and there's a link, and that you have to take action right away. Anything that you get with a link, again, don't click on, and also the fact that you have to do it right away. Look, if you're not sure about something and you get a message from CRA that says you have a day to take action or a short time frame, the worst case scenario is you're going to pay a small penalty if it is actually legitimate. You're better off taking your time, doing your due diligence, and making sure that it's authentic before making any payment. And again, you can always call CRA to make sure that was this actually authentic or not. The next one is text messages saying that there's an issue with your CRA account and that they need to gather some information. Never send personal information over text messages or give it over a phone call to anyone, CRA or other. Don't give that information out over a text message or phone call. Just don't do it. And the last common one is messages through either email or text messages saying that you're entitled to a tax refund, but they need your SIN number or some sort of personal information to confirm before they can send you the money. And remember that these scammers are getting very smart, and they're using technology and things like using local phone numbers. And so you might get a call on your cell phone and it says that it's from CRA and it has a 1-800 number or a local number, and it looks legitimate and they sound legitimate. They've done this hundreds to thousands of times. They know what they're doing. They're very good at scamming. So be very aware that, if you're getting a phone call or a text message from CRA, don't give any information. Just say, I'll call you back, call back CRA, and you can confirm with them. So let's look at ways to protect yourself if something like this were to happen to you. So the biggest thing is CRA will never, ever, ever ask for your personal information over the phone or through a text message. They also won't send links. So, if you get something that says, click on this link to make payment or get money or whatever, they don't send that stuff. There is one exception to this, and I think it's important because sometimes if you phone CRA and they are required to send you something to sign or link or whatever, they will do that while you're on the call with them. So let's say you phone CRA for a reason, and they say, you know what, Jim, we need to send you a link to click on, a form to fill out, whatever it is, and they'll do it while you're on the phone. So they'll say, look, I sent it to jim@gmail.com, check your email address. You do it while you're on the phone. It'll say from the person that you're actually speaking to. Again, you called CRA, so you know that it's a legitimate phone call. That would be the only time that you're going to click on a link from CRA, is when you've initiated the contact, you're speaking to that person on the other line, and you receive that email while you're on the phone call, or maybe a text message as well. Another way to protect yourself is CRA will never request a payment by a prepaid credit card, a gift card, cryptocurrency, anything that can't be tracked. And again, if you're not sure, if you get an email that you think this actually sounds legitimate. I got a voicemail the other day on my phone that was from CRA, and my head just went to scam, phishing, it came from CRA, local number. It had all the check marks of being fishy. The voicemail said, your recent GST registration. And I thought, okay, well, my accountant did just do something for that, so I better check. So I went to my accountant. I said, would this be legitimate? My accountant said, yes, they typically will call out if they have any questions. So I've called CRA, I checked the phone number, I Googled the phone number, it's a CRA phone number. When I call, it's a CRA line, and I'm getting through to the right person. Sometimes you will get the odd call. I got one this week. It's kind of random that I was preparing this video for this week, but it will happen. But again, do your due diligence to make sure. Don't just jump both feet in to say, oh, this must be right, because it kind of lines up. It's tax season. If you get an email, text message, that kind of thing on taxes, they know it's tax season. That's why they're fishing for these things. And the last way to protect yourself, and this is probably the best way, other than having just common sense if you get communication, is to make sure that your My Account, which is your CRA account, is set up with dual authentication on it. So if you haven't done that already, jump into your CRA account, set up dual authentication on it, and that will help protect you and your identity as well. Quickly, before I jump into what to do if you fall into one of these scams, is reminder that we do have a second YouTube channel. We launched it a few weeks ago, and it's really geared to that 18 to 45-year-old market, where it's building assets and saving and paying off debt and creating a better budget and everything you need to know kind of as you build wealth, as you pay off debt, as you grow a family, as you buy a house, all these different things in life. So we put a link to that second channel below. Make sure to check that out and subscribe. We really do appreciate your support on that one. So what to do if you've fallen victim? Now I'll say this, most people that fall victim to these scams realize that they fell victim a second after they hit the button, send the money, do whatever it is. It's usually a quick, that doesn't feel right, or I think I did something wrong. So you need to take action right away on this. Now, make sure anything that's around CRA, paying money, taxes, giving out information, sleep on it. Think about it. Talk to a friend, a neighbor, a coworker about it. Does this make sense? Have you ever gotten this? So if you have fallen victim, you want to report that to your local police office. So whether it's RCMP or police, make sure you go in there, make a report, get a file number for that. And you also need to report it to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Center. So that's another area. Again, we'll link their information below as well. And if you think or you know that your SIN number has been compromised or stolen, you want to contact Service Canada as well. So that's another phone number that you're going to need to reach out to. So again, when your identity, when information, or there's fraud, there's typically a few places to contact. Now, will you get your money back? Will you get your identity back? The likelihood is no, but you need to make a file number because they will follow up on it. The police will follow up with the phone number. They'll look at the text message or the email. They'll do all they can. And again, they collect this information, and CRA will work with organizations to help prevent fraud moving forward. So even though that, you've fallen victim, maybe you've lost your $100 or $1,000 or whatever it is that you paid them, hopefully by you reporting it and then gathering that information, they can help prevent this stuff. And if you haven't watched Mark Rober is a YouTuber, formerly worked at NASA. He did a great video, and we'll link it below. But these call centers out of India that do a lot of this work, he actually cracked down and got a couple of them busted through local law enforcement there. If you haven't checked out the video, it's very, very well done. I'll link that below. But it talks about and goes through the process of what these call centers do and the knowledge that they have and the information, and it's very in depth. So it's very important that you do report these scams if you do fall victim, so that law enforcement and these government agencies and private agencies that do a lot of research on this and crack down on it have as much information as possible. So be aware of any kind of email, text, phone, anything that you get. Again, if they say they're CRA and it sounds fishy, hang up, call CRA and confirm that it was actually them, and then they can take action with you on the phone that you triggered. You phone them so you know it's actually CRA. So hopefully this helped you guys today. Thank you so much for joining us. See you in the next video.